Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working on Eagles and Rifles. Game of Napoleonic role-playing and all the problems that go along with that. So, what's the dealio? What's the problemo? What's the issue? So what's our goal today? Well, our goal today is to see how far we can get into this nightmare because Eagles and Rifles is going to be a weird game. It's going to be a weird game for a few reasons, most notably the fact that it is a Napoleonic role-playing game, and we will say this is not exactly a common thing that I can quickly reference. Oh no, it is exactly the opposite almost. Reason why this is so late, by the way, I was meant to do this about an hour ago, but what happened is I ended up having to write the lore for it because I meant to write the lore earlier today and I just couldn't. So here is the, let's see, about like 6 pages of lore with the note of you don't really have to use it. Why? Because lore is silly. Lore is the silly and does the silly things, so. Interesting. I changed one of the tags in this and changed it back. Strange. So, let's get rolling. Let me see. Oh, wait, that reminds me, I should open up my Miro so people can actually see what the fuck I'm talking about. Miro. This is actually one thing I really enjoy. I enjoy Miro, and I will shill them. Miro, if you want to sponsor me, hit me up, fam. I am here. So, one of the core ideas is I was debating on like, oh, well, do I want to do D10 dice pool, D6, or what? I decided on a D6 dice pool system based around the oh god, what's the game? Based around the game Black Powder. Black Powder is a game set during this era, so it's like, all right, I think that's kind of a natural fit. So, Eagles. Gotta remember to type it right. Eagles and Rifles. Shortened to ER. Is played with a set of D6s, preferably up to 6 per player. 3 to 5 players. 3 to 5 players, and a game master willing to engage in the harsh realities of linear warfare. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to open up one of these, just double check to make sure I got my wording right, because that's always the hard part with this. Like, I always feel like I need to add something more. Whenever a attempts it in action, chance of failure, or is in opposition to another, they will roll a set of d6s. A set of d6s dependent on their attributes and modifiers. Well, a set of d6s depending on their attributes and modifiers, attempting to hit the target number for a success. Most rolls, most checks. Little set of d6. This is whenever a character attempts an action with a chance of failure or is in opposition to another. Okay. This is referred to as a check, and multiple successes may be required to pass certain checks. The abbreviation of God, how do I want to do it? Of DCXY will be used to determine actually a DC of actually dice check DC XY will be used to determine to what is considered a success. X. And how many successes are needed. Why? If you haven't realized, I stole this system from Age of Sigmar Soulbound, which I did a long-ass stream on Monday about. Now, I went through Age of Sigmar, I wouldn't say with a fine-tooth comb, but I definitely read over it and had a lot of good ideas. I'll actually be probably doing a little opinions on my time with Age of Sigmar, because I have parts about that game I enjoy. I really enjoy parts of that game. Other parts of that game I hate, and it's fascinating how that game could have been, and I want to explore more of it. But that's all I can really say about that. Ooh. Half this fucking that thing was based entirely around Portuguese, which I don't speak, but blame my boys Bada and Sleep for influencing me. So, but yeah, I've been using Age of Sigmar Soulbound quite a bit, and its system of its DN, its dice number XY, I think worked really well for what I was needing. I could use like a brute force example of things, but I think this abbreviation, just DCXY, works pretty well for what I'm going with. Actually, character can score multiple successes by one single die by scoring pips, by scoring a value of, actually we'll do +2 the goal. So I'll do this actually. For example, if a success is on a 4, rolling a 6 on a dice results in 2 successes. As well as rolling a, it would be, actually, if success is on a 2, rolling a 4 on a dice results in 2 successes. If a result is 6, then 3 successes are scored. And this system is actually incredibly simple. That's the goal. Because I need to do this. This is where things get very complicated. When I'm actually worrying about how to do things like fire, shock, applying damage, certain values. Because there's going to be probably times when you're rolling like 12d6. What you're rolling for different sides. I try to keep it down to, my goal is to keep it down to 10d6. Like that is my absolute goal. My absolute maximum is 10d6. But there's going to be inevitably times when something goes wrong. Which You always have to plan on in games. Fun fact, kids. Never think that things are going to go smoothly. Always have a contingency. Let's see. So, we'll do dice check values. And actually, what game? I wrote something like this before. What was it? Nah, it was, wait a second. I know what it was. It was... Ooh, where are you? Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? This is what I need now. Maybe wondering, why do I need this? Well, I need it for this chart. Right here. This is all I need it for. Go away, sheep and shepherds. I love you, but go away. So we're going to do that, convert everything to normal text. And for those curious, the fonts I'm going to be using EB Garamond. I kind of fell in love with Garamond with this project. I just like the look of it. And our basic font we're going to be using is Railway. All Google fonts. So don't feel too pressured about that. So... we'll do dice difficulty and complexity. We'll do difficulty and complexity. Difficulty X, complexity Y. Dice check reference charts. So easy dash going to be 1, average dash 2. Actually no, we want to do 1, 2, 3. Very hard. 4. Difficult 5. So easy, average, hard, very hard. We actually probably sub out this. We don't really need this row, but so what we can do is do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Complexity. Simple 1. Actually, simple, intermediate, complex. We can put intricate right here. And then here we can do masterful. Because the idea is, this is the value of whatever you need to roll. So, using over here as an example. Let's say I call it check. I'm going to say, okay, it's going to be DC 32. It's not DC 32, it's... the difficulty is 3. So if I roll my 40, let's say I roll 46 for my check, and I rolled a 2, 3, 4, and 6. I need 2 successes for this. So 2, obviously, not a success. 3, 1 success. 4, 1 success. 6 is 2 successes, because what is 3 plus 2? It is 5. So there we go. I scored 4 successes. I successfully passed the check. That's it. Nice, easy, and to the point. Because I didn't want to bog this game down. So, I feel like I'm missing something. No, I don't think so. So, what we need to do now is creating the Oga Company. So, also, I'm going to be using some lore terms in here. The entire idea is that pretty much the setting is fucked because the Portuguese, German, Holy Roman Empire decided to conquer a bunch of things, but then quickly fell to ruin when everyone realized it was the Holy Roman Empire. Once everything went to shit, people started breaking away, empires falling to ruin, oh no, 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 everyone's fighting. And one of the big things is that there are ogre companies, OGRE, however they're bastardized of OGAR. And the idea is that they are pretty much free soldiers. They are individuals usually financed by either a local prince or they are financed by themselves. They get a bunch of arms and armor, gather around, and are hired out by rival nations to fight. They're effectively mercenaries. With the intent of, you're not really paying for your equipment, someone else is paying and you're paying off. You are a private army that is being paid out. And why is it this way? Well, because of the scale of things. That's one of the big things about this. The scale of the game is not vast, endless armies. Like, that is one of the difficulties of Napoleonic warfare, because it's like, we'll do, actually, the Battle of Austerlitz. One of Napoleon's biggest battles, one of the most impressive ones. There were, let's say, 70,000 Frenchmen and almost about 90,000 Russian Austrians. There were a lot of people. 6,600 people were killed. 9,000 were wounded. Like, this, you can't really do that in a traditional game. It gets a lot more complicated. You'd be like, what about mass battle rules, Notepad? Mass battle rules have never been solid. And I think anyone can tell you that. Because mass battle is hard. Mass battle is really hard. And the reason why is that you have to attempt to make sure that every single person has something to do. Which seems easy at first. Like, oh, well, I'm a warrior, I'm at the front. Or, oh, I'm a commander, I'm at the back. Seems easy to do at first, but nobody wants to do the essential stuff, like logistics. No one is, they're caring about what their character is doing and how heroic and cool they are. That's fine. It's a very personal experience. And that's what role-playing games are about. Very, personalist, games that are about people. Napoleonic warfare isn't that. That's the difficulty. But it is about person. Now, this is where actually the game itself came to mind of how I was going to do this, because I was not entirely sure. But one of the ideas behind Napoleonic and linear warfare in general is that you have to... Those men in line are scared. They're terrified. They don't know what's going to happen. That first volley is not a 9mm going through your leg. Oh no, I'm in extreme pain. Drag me away. And even though my fucking Kevlar vest is insane, and oh look at me, I'm doing all these things. This is a musket ball that's flying towards you from a guy 100 yards away from you, who's going to impact you and blow a hole in your stomach if it hits you. This is the thunder of cannons, as a cannonball comes raging down toward someone right next to you, and you feel the thump of the impact, as there are 3 people who were next to you that are now gore on the ground. There is titanic rings of rifles as bullets start flying across. There are dozens of people dying. Your guys are falling over. There's blood. There's guts everywhere. And the only thing keeping you in line is little Timmy, the drummer boy, beating on his drum because you don't want to look bad in front of little Timmy and the fucking drummer because everything's fine. It's the guy with the flag screaming at the top of his lungs to keep your shit together and keep firing because you're going to get shot if you don't, and you're going to get shot if you do. And it's your commander telling you what to do. That is where things come in. Because if you look at any battle during this era, any battle, you will always be hearing about the people leading. It's Napoleon. It's the, I cannot remember his field marshals, Vidal, I believe one of them was in the Spanish campaign. You're hearing about the men leading their battalions, the people leading charges, the people dying heroically in the field because they are desperate. Robert E. Ulysses S. Grant, the one Paraguayan guy who led his country and kept fucking up, and man cannot help but fuck up. You have these very personal things, and that's the character I want you to play as. That's the goal. You're not playing as rank and file. That's not fun. It's fun to play the guy screaming at the top of his lungs with a pistol in one hand, a sword in the other, while thousands of fucking Germans are coming at you, or thousands of people are shooting at you. And it's this terrible cacophony of rifles, of artillery, of horses screaming, of men dying. That is what this game is made of. That is the goal. Brr. So let's see, playing the game. So we need to do creating the Ogre Company. An Ogre Company. Private army. Built up by local princes. To sell out, to rent to other lords and militaries desperately in need of additional fighting men. Ogre companies, very close and can recruit anyone. Recruit anyone willing to fight on the front. Often entirely supplied by their own means. They are dangerous and effective in the right hands. An Ogre Company unit is comprised of two distinct entities. The commander, actually it would be leader of a cavalry squadron. Because you have the battalion. See, the battalion is kind of like almost a precursor to the company, so it fits. So colonel. All right, let me buy a colonel. And the brigade. And then your brigade would be led by a brigade is led by a major or a division. Okay, so a brigade isn't. Oh my God, this is one of the annoying things about this, is because the terms have remained the same over the years. However, the sizes and assumptions of them have changed. And that makes things very complicated. Very complicated. So actually, I want to see what I'm... Major. Okay, so... Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel. So the Colonel... Okay, here's what we can do. Hello, phone. So what it's going to be... The Colonel and the unit. Colonel and soldiers. What I'm going to do is put a note for myself in these notes, which we have the Lieutenant Colonel is the Colonel, the Colonel. The Brigadier. Okay. L'armée. This is where things get complicated, where I gotta first corps. So you led the first corps. Okay, he was a marshal. Marshal leads the corps. If the marshal leads the corps, that means I clicked the wrong button. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Oh, no. If the marshal leads the corps. So... Oh, Jesus. So, yeah. Okay. They're a field marshal, not a marshal. Okay, Lieutenant Colonel and soldiers. Actually, what I'm going to do is, we'll call it the command staff. Command staff and soldiers. So, Colonel... Actually, we'll do Colonel or Brigadier. Brigadier controls the Ogre Company. The Lieutenant Colonels control the individual brigades. Squadrons. Colonel control the brigades and squadrons. Majors support the ELT. Okay. That's how we're going to do it. It's not flawless, but it works. Oh, God. It is offensively hot in my room. You don't understand. But... let's go cycle. 1, 2. Snap my back into place. Okay, so command staff and the soldiers. So command staff. Command staff of a brigade. A brigade of infantry. Or squadron of cavalry. Actually the command staff of a brigade or brigade of infantry or squadron of cavalry are the essential parts of the force that allows continue the fight in dire circumstances, issuing orders and allowing the soldiers and keeping their soldiers in line. Let's see. The players. Actually, no. Each player will take the role of 3. It would be a command staff. But we want to do Napoleonic command structure. So it would be a majors. Yep. Okay. It's a rule of 3. 3 different characters. Lieutenant Colonel acts as the main driving character, as the main driving force behind the unit. And the 2 majors forming their command hierarchy. Should the I'm going to keep spelling colonel wrong because colonel is a weird word. Colonel. It's one of those fun English words that is actually French. Colonel. You're a lieutenant colonel. Now, that makes a lot of sense in French. However, in English, Colonel says colonel. Colonel. That is obviously incorrect. So it's colonel. Like it's pronouncing things is fun. English is a fun language, kids. Oh God. Oh God. That went down wrong. Situation. Man structure of the unit fall. Then the unit will break without organization. Okay, so each of these characters is composed of 3 attributes. The best way I can kind of word it, 3 attributes. Actually, 3 core attributes. Fire, shock, it'd be fire, morale, and shock, wouldn't it? Fire, morale, and shock. Or suppose the 3 core attributes, which double as both civilian and military sides and lives. So we're going to have fire. What is fire? Fire is pretty much your directed. We're going to actually apply that to your guile. Fire, shock. physical. And finally, we're going to apply it for morale. Pretty much I want these to be based around how you do something rather than strictly here's a bunch of skills, have fun. One of the ideas being I have high fire and that I can do this. I have high shock. My troops know it's run in, beat them down, we can win this, we can win a charge. I naturally am going to try to solve things through a physical means. So it's kind of, the commander reflects their, civilian lifestyle as much as their military lifestyle. I have high shock. I'm going to be more physical and think if I have high morale at keeping my own soldiers alive, maybe change that to social. And then we can actually we'll play mind games with someone with fire. Not the most elegant solution, but it works. Which doubles their civilian and military lives. Each of these attributes is randomly rolled for. At character creation. And character creation, with each one being chosen from a 1d6. So yes, there is technically a chance you're going to roll 1d6 and get a 6 in all of them. Congratulations, you're an apex human being. You're still going to get shot and die, though. And that's a note I'm going to actually have to make, being like, dying is very easy. Like, that's kind of the point. Actually... Each attribute being randomized by rolling a 1d6. A player can switch two attributes values around, but only once. So we are going to be rolling a character. You may be wondering why we are going to be rolling a character. We're going to be rolling a character because I'm going to need to see this in action. So, what is our fire/mind? 5. Good. This is a good start. I like it when things go my way. What is our shock? 4. Alright. Alright. We're doing alright. What's our social at? 6. I have a pretty damn good character. No, let's actually... Very good. Yeah. Rolling good tonight, which is a rarity. So 5, 4, 6. Okay. Does produce a little bit higher results. I think that's fine. So... Basic skills. Next. Is randomly roll a military and civilian skill, representing their previous experiences and knowledge. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Let's see, player takes roll 3 different characters. The character's ability to direct, to fire, and keep them on target. Also demonstrates the acute knowledge and information. The acute knowledge and mental prowess the character exudes. Physical. Encouraging their soldiers. Dangerous hand combat, as well as their ability to quickly handle situations requiring physical needs. The natural charisma and daring personality that strikes fear in their enemies and can charm the crowds with relative ease. There we go. Random feeling skill representing the previous experiences and knowledge. Player will roll on the chart which reflects their highest rolled attribute. So what we're going to do is use this untitled spreadsheet I have here. And we're going to merge these together. We're going to call these the fire mind. Morale social. Social. Shock and physical. One, two, three, four, five, six. Actually, what we're going to do is we'll select all of these, move them down one, and we're going to call it the civilian military. Shrink you a little bit because I don't need you. So, how do I want to do this? I need a set of skills that kind of apply to most things. So, we will actually high society, low society, criminals, peasants, foreigners, and actually cut criminals, we'll call it the merchant, we'll call it middle class, low class, actually the peasantry, soldiers, foreigners, And what would be another one? Actually, we'll do women/men. Actually, romance. Actually, these are all... Since we're going off the military first, I gotta put these like this. So, military. If we want to keep military skills high, what do we want to do? Actually, we want to do... We want to do revelry, intimidation, fear factor, nobility, soldiering, we'll call it command structure. So, fire mind. We want to do, we'll do academics. Actually, we'll do sciences, philosophy, natural world, actually, nature, expedition, nature, worldly, languages, people. Actually, we'll call them peoples. For military, short guns, long guns, artillery, long guns, artillery, cavalry, melee combat, and then we'll apply tactics, swords, lances, fisticuffs, so let's see, swords, lances, fisticuffs, athletics, agility, acrobatics, brutality, and what would be another good shock and awe is your main thing. So your probably would be I'll put rage down. What's the rage skill about? Getting mad at things. Hurt people. Do things terrible. Why? Because you're literally too mad. You're a little madman who wants to hurt people because you are a scary person. Let's see. So athletics, agility, acrobatics, wrestling, revelry. Dueling. So, roll 1d6, and... Oh, actually, let's say morale is our highest. We're going to roll 2d6. Our skills are 2 and 3. We can either do intimidation peasants, or we can do fear factor into the middle class. We're going to go with... I want to go with intimidation and peasantry. Like, I deal well with peasants, and I instill fear upon people, but let's do... Let me see if I can roll double ones on fire, mind, short guns, and sciences. All right, makes sense. And 1 and a 5, so I can do swords and revelry, or athletics and brutality. I think I'm gonna go with brutality and athletics. I am scary. I hit people. Yeah. Actually, what we need to do is we need to set this to, not EB Garamond, we need to set this to railway, I believe. Yes, railway. Where are you? Oh, goodness, I should actually set these all to data, create filter. Yeah, that works. Actually, yeah, A to Z. Wait, no. I'm going to do this by hand. Turn off filter. So what we need to do now is go through all of these and sort them by, because thing very smart, Excel doesn't understand that sometimes I don't want it that way. Sometimes I want to just make a filter, hit Control A, hit Control X, paste up here, Control C, Control V, data, turn off filter, data, to create a filter, A to Z, Control X, Control V, Control C, Control V. Data, turn off. Select everything. Control C, Control V. Data, create filter. A to Z, select everything. Control X, Control V. Data, turn off filter. Everything is sorted alphabetically, and that's what I like to see. And we have to select, put that down one, paste unlinked. Is everything going to come out just perfect? That's what I like to see. So we're going to set everything to 1. That should fix high society. High society. Philosophy, the peasantry. Table properties, black on black, bottom, center. And that is all she wrote. Randomly rolled a military and civilian skill representing their their highest attribute. Attribute, if 2 attributes are the same, then they can choose of both charts. Make a choice between both charts. Then they can make a choice between both charts. Player will roll a 2d6 on the chart, on the history, so on the skill chart reflected their highest attribute. And we have to merge all these together, merge cells. We're going to call this the skill chart. We'll keep that bold. Beer done. Need more beer. Burp. So wait, I need to add table of content. Insert table of contents. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who you are of New World of Teferia. Command staff. Then you make a choice there. On health and death. Heading 2. No, it'd be heading 3. Because this is 2 in health and death. Individual. Are assigned. Or actually. No, we're not going to do that. You know what I am going to do, though? We're going to put a side note in here. Side note on dying. Side note on dying. A musket ball will kill you. A bayonet stab. Stab will kill you. Getting hit by an artillery piece will kill you. The world of linear warfare is not kind to. It is not kind. It is deadly danger. It's deadly and dangerous for everyone. For everyone involved. Including colonels, including colonel, actually, everyone involved, from the highest kings to the lowliest of peasants. If a character were to take damage in any way, such as being shot, stabbed, poisoned, or murdered, the shot, stab, poisoned, or stabbed or poisoned. Such ways, such as being shot, stabbed, poisoned, or poisoned. Yeah. Then the character will die. Medical personnel. Dude. One will die unless their soldiers are able to drag them away, or they reach medical assistance quickly. If they are unable to, then they will die. Another statistic in this grand and terrible conflict. Let's see, will die unless your soldiers. So mechanically speaking, each character has a bit of leeway after a major injury to seek aid. If fail to do such, then it is death. However, are simply unavoidable. quickly reducing mush. Is rated upon the ground. One cannot survive a cannon chest. And that is kind of like one of the big things I want to get across with this game, is that like it is horribly easy to die. And when you do die, it's permanent. And I want that to feel important. Oh, we're leaving the office right on the ground. We cannot survive cannon to the chest. Okay. So you may roll perfect sixes, but your first battle you may get shot immediately and it's die. Why? Because you were leading from the front and you got a full blast of musket on your face. Sorry, you're going to die. But that's why you have command staff. That's why you technically have 3 characters. And that's like one of the major parts about this game, is that you have 3 characters to play with. If one character dies, they are replaced. Even if you survive the battle, you get new majors. You will select new characters. You will always have 3 characters while you are not in a fight. If you lose all 3 of those characters, well, things aren't going too hot. And not to say, and again, you have to re-roll those characters. So your first character may be a 2, 3, 4 trash garbage, but your second character can be a 6, 5, 1. Well, that one's kind of sucks, but I got a 6 and a 5. I can make it work. Or can you? Your perfect major may get shot immediately. And maybe that's the point. Maybe you understand that they're fucking retarded and useless in combat. But they also have a really good skill that you want, because it's good. Actually, I can probably sub out... No, I think this works. No, we're going to sub out people. We're going to put nature down here. We're going to put medicine here. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. The music has actually ended. So I'm going to call it here for today. We have gotten our basic command staff structure down, and next time we're going to be working on how to build a company up, or more specifically, how to build a unit up from the ground. Once that's done, once the unit has been completed, things start getting a lot easier. Because the command staff will be done, we'll be able to go into units, and then it'll probably be our priorities here is we need to, so we have creating the yogurt company. Command staff is done, so we need creating the unit, which the unit is going to be composed of a few different moving parts. Then we're going to do combat, small scale combat, pretty much between a few people, and then we're going to do large scale combat. Actually, no. We want to do small battles, and then we want to use the battles in progress system, which I actually have that written down, how I want to handle that. Then we're going to be working on... Okay, so creating the yogurt company, creating the unit, combat. Combat's going to be the chunkiest section by far. By fucking far. We can probably do basic equipment sections. From there, we can actually put in the advanced rules. And that's going to be like loyalty and exterior. Do this. Would you word attaches? Military attaché. No, that wouldn't be right. I'll put this in quotes for now. But pretty much holders on, you can add people to your company. What does the flag bearer do? What does the drummer boy do? All these little parts that really add up, make things a little bit better to play around with. We can actually do Napoleonic scale fights. So a little bit more detail on like you're controlling multiple units, you're controlling multiple characters and all the additional issues that go along with that. What else can we add? What else can we add? Oh, I got rid of the mirror. And from there, we should be done. Now, I'm going to expect probably this is going to be about 4 or 5 episodes, kind of depending on how the combat goes. Combat is going to be fairly simple. Like, this is pretty much it. You roll their fire shock plus the commander's fire, and shock has a number of d6s. Each success inflicts a casualty. And actually, what I should do is campaigns and replenishment. Actually, no, it would be campaigns, advancement. Actually, well, yeah, we'll call it, and then the advancement section. And then we can do advanced campaigns down here. So, depending on how things go, we can probably get this done on, it would be Friday. Battles in progress, we may be able to get this done. So this is kind of my goal for Friday, to get everything here done. Once that's done, we're pretty good. So, in other news, I know what I'm going to be doing this Saturday. It's the Curious Case going to be. Unfortunately for me, it is going to be the Curious Case of Foe RPGs, because I can't have nice things in my life, and I suffer for your amusement. So tune in for that, and watch me slowly lose my mind. So, thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Godspeed, good luck, and I'll catch you on the flip side.